morning, wherever you are in the world right now, I want you to stop and hear me with your heart, not just your ears. You have greatness within you. I don't care where you've come from, what mistakes you've made, or what people have said about you. That doesn't define you. Your past is not your potential. Your struggle is not your identity. And the pain you've endured, it was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to develop you. Let me tell you something that may surprise you. Greatness is not just for the chosen few. It's not just for the people with the right connections, perfect grades, or impressive resumes. Greatness is not something you stumble upon. It is something you step into. I know what it's like to be counted out. I know what it's like to feel like you're not enough. I know what it's like to look at the mirror and see someone who is broken, someone who is tired, someone who is trying so hard but just can't seem to catch a break. But I'm here to remind you that you are still here. And if you are still here, then your story is not over. You are not finished yet. You see, every champion was once a contender that refused to give up. The difference between people who win and people who live wishing they had, it's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even opportunity, it's belief. Say this out loud right now. I have greatness within me. Say it like you mean it. I have greatness within me. You've got dreams inside you that scare you, and that's good. Big dreams should scare you. They should wake you up at night and push you out of bed in the morning. You weren't born to just exist, pay bills, and die. You were born to make a difference, to leave something behind, to inspire others, to create, to lead, to love, to serve, to shine. Now, don't confuse greatness with fame or popularity. Greatness is not about applause, it's about purpose. Greatness means being the best version of you, not a cheap copy of someone else. It means showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching, and giving it all you've got. There are people waiting for you to rise. People whose lives will be changed because you chose not to quit. You might say, but you don't know my life. You don't know my struggles. And you're right. I don't. But I know struggle. I've been broke, broken, and burdened. I've stood at rock bottom and asked God why. But I also know what happens when you refuse to settle for where you are and decide to fight for where you can be. Greatness is a decision, not a destiny. You've got to decide that enough is enough. But you've got to decide that you're not going to keep living beneath your potential, that you're not going to let fear, doubt, and failure be your roommates anymore. You've got to decide that you matter, that your dreams matter, that your life matters. Some of you have let fear become your master. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of what other people think. Let me tell you something. Fear is a liar. Fear whispers that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. But if fear had the final word, you wouldn't be here right now. You're listening to this because there's still something inside you that believes, something inside you that wants to try again. And I'm here to tell you, try again. Fall 7 times, get up 8. Been knocked down, get back up. You are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. And yes, it will be hard. Yes, you'll want to quit. Yes, people will doubt you, laugh at you, walk away from you, but do it anyway. Go after your dream anyway. Push through the pain anyway. Why? Because you have greatness within you. That greatness may not come out all at once. It may come in whispers, in quiet progress, in daily steps. But keep moving, keep learning, keep believing. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Start where you are with what you have, because what you have is enough to get started. You've got a mind, you've got a heartbeat, you've got breath in your lungs, And as long as there's breath, there's hope. You were created for more than mediocrity, more than survival. You were created to thrive. Don't let your life be a collection of regrets and what ifs. Live so that when you get to the end of your journey, you can look back and say, I gave it everything I had. I left it all on the table. You may not control what life throws at you, but you can always control how you respond. Choose to respond with courage. Choose to respond with faith. Choose to respond with power. You've got this. So stand tall. Speak life over yourself. Walk like you belong in the room because you do. Dream like it's already yours. And work like it's all on you, because that's how winners live. Let the world feel your fire. Let them see your light. Let them hear your roar. Because when you walk in your greatness, you give others permission to do the same. And remember, no matter what happens, no matter how dark it gets, no matter how long it takes, you have greatness within you. Your past does not define your potential. It doesn't matter what you've been through, what you've lost, or how many times you've failed. None of that controls where you can go from here. Too many people are held hostage by their history. They let past mistakes, past pain, and past limitations become the ceiling on their lives. But the truth is, your history is only a chapter. It's not the whole book. It's something you went through, not something you have to carry forever. There are people walking around every day with labels stuck to them. Labels someone else gave them, or worse, labels they gave themselves. Failure, dropout, too late, too old, not enough. And they wear those labels like armor, thinking it protects them, thinking it defines them. But those labels are lies. You are not your past. You are not your trauma. You are not your lowest moment. You are more than what you've survived. The truth is, every great person you admire has a past. Every success story you've ever heard began with struggle. Before they were great, they were ordinary. Before they won, they lost. Before they shined, they were overlooked. They were told you can't, and they chose to believe I will. The difference wasn't their past, it was how they saw their future. It doesn't matter if you were counted out, if you came from nothing, if you were told you wouldn't make it. That's not the final word. Life has a way of writing plot twists. You don't have to be the person you used to be. You don't have to repeat your mistakes. You don't have to live down to anyone's expectations. You have the power to break the cycle. You have the power to become something more. Too many people let shame and regret lock them in place. They replay old decisions like a broken record. They relive moments that hurt them over and over, as if punishing themselves will somehow bring redemption. But it won't. All it does is rob you of today. And today is where your power lives. Today is where your change begins. Now, you don't have to carry guilt like a badge. You don't have to let pain become your personality. You can rise from it. You can grow through it. You can take your story, the very thing you thought disqualified you, and turn it into the reason someone else believes in hope again. There's a version of you waiting to be born. A version that isn't afraid anymore, that isn't stuck anymore, that isn't chained to what used to be. And the only thing standing between you and that version is the belief that you're still defined by where you've been. But once you release that belief, once you look in the mirror and say, that was a chapter, not the ending, you take the first step toward becoming who you were really meant to be. People may try to remind you of who you used to be. Let them talk. Let them whisper. That's their issue, not yours. Because while they're stuck in the past, you're focused on your growth. You're focused on your goals. You're focused on your future. And the beautiful thing about life is that as long as you're breathing, you still have a future. You still have a shot to rewrite the script. Everything you've been through can become, every scar can become a source of strength. Every setback can become a setup for something greater. Your past isn't a prison. It's a platform. You can stand on it, not stay in it. You can learn from it, not live in it. It happened, yes, but it doesn't have to keep happening. You have the right to change. You have the right to heal. You have the right to become. Not because someone else gave you permission, but because greatness already lives inside you. And it's been waiting for you to stop looking backward and start looking within. Greatness is a decision, not a destiny. It's not something written in the stars for a chosen few. It's not something written into the right family. Greatness doesn't come to you. You go to it. You make a decision, a conscious, powerful decision to rise. You choose to show up every day, even when it's hard, even when no one claps, even when no one believes. Because greatness begins the moment you decide that the life you're living is not the limit of who you are. People wait around for a sign, a perfect time, a perfect plan. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. You create the moment by deciding. You choose to wake up with intention. You choose to fight for your vision. You choose to speak over your life, even when the voices in your head are shouting doubt. Greatness doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who work. Fall and rise again and again, because the decision to be great is stronger than the temptation to quit. The world is full of people with potential, but potential means nothing without decision. It means nothing without action. You can have all the gifts, all the talent, all the ideas in the world, but if you don't decide to use them, they die inside you, buried under excuses, fear, distractions, and self-doubt. Greatness is not about what you could do. It's about what you commit to doing. You have to choose greatness long before anyone else sees it in you. You have to believe in yourself when there's no evidence around you, no proof, no applause. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. It's not the circumstances. It's not the environment. It's the mindset, the fire inside that says, no matter what, I will not stop. That's the decision that ignites greatness. It's easy to make a decision when everything feels good, when you're winning, when the road is smooth. But the real decision is made in the dark, when you're tired, when you're doubting, when no one is cheering. That's when you find out if your decision is real, because greatness demands sacrifice. It demands resilience. It demands consistency when you feel like quitting. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to have everything figured out to make the decision. You don't have to know how it's all going to work. You just need to start. You just need to take that first step, to speak that first word, to act on that first idea. Momentum is born in the moment of decision. Your journey begins the second you stop waiting and start moving. Too many people wait for motivation, for permission, for some magic moment to push them. But the most powerful force is not motivation, it's decision. A deep down, can't be shaken, unshakable choice to rise. You may stumble, you may fail, you may even have to start over. But the decision to be great gives you the strength to keep going, to stand back up, to look in the mirror and say, I'm not done yet. There will be days when nothing goes your way. Days when people don't see what you see. Days when progress feels like it's moving in slow motion. But you keep going because you've decided that greatness is the only option. Not comfort, not convenience, not settling. You've made the decision that who you are becoming matters more than where you started. You weren't created to live a life of limitations. You were created to rise, to lead, to build, to overcome. That greatness is already inside you, but it won't activate until you choose it. Not once, not twice, but every day, in your thoughts, in your actions, in your attitude. The decision to be great is a daily discipline, not a one-time moment. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's powerful. It's the quiet force behind every breakthrough, every victory, every transformation. Fear is a liar. Believe in yourself anyway. Fear will whisper in your ear that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that you're going to fail just like last time. It shows up in disguise, pretending to protect you, telling you to play it safe, to stay comfortable, to wait for the right moment. But fear is not your friend. It's a thief. It robs you of opportunities, of progress, of purpose. It talks loud, but it lies. It makes problems look bigger than they are and makes you feel smaller than you are. But deep down, you already have what it takes. You just need to believe it. Fear says you should wait until you're more ready. It says you need more experience, more support, more certainty. But the truth is, no one ever feels completely ready when stepping into something new. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite it. Every time you face fear and act anyway, you grow. You prove to yourself that fear doesn't control you. That voice in your head that says you can't, that's fear trying to keep you where you are, not where you belong. Every dream, every goal, every calling will come with fear attached to it. That's how you know it's worth chasing. Fear only shows up when something matters. It shows up when you're about to break through. The bigger the fear, the bigger the opportunity on the other side. But you have to stop letting fear decide your future. You have to stop feeding it with your focus and start starving it with action. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you think you're perfect. It means you know you're capable. You know you're willing. You know you're committed to growing. You trust yourself to learn, to adapt, to bounce back. You trust your voice. You trust your vision. That belief becomes your anchor when fear tries to pull you away from your path. Fear loves to replay old failures like they define you. It reminds you of every mistake, every rejection, every embarrassing moment. But you are not your past. You are not a replay. You are a creator. You get to decide who you are becoming. And belief is the fuel that moves you forward. Fear wants you to stay stuck in that loop, repeating the same old story. But belief gives you the courage to rewrite the story, to turn the page and start again. The world doesn't need another person paralyzed by fear. It needs more people who believe boldly, who rise anyway, who speak up anyway, who act anyway. Because every time you choose belief over fear, you grow stronger. Every time you silence that voice of doubt, your confidence expands. You build momentum. You build trust in yourself. And soon you realize fear was never in control. You were. You were born with purpose, not to settle. There is something unique inside you, something that the world has never seen before and will never see again. You were created with intention. You are not an accident, not a mistake, and not here just to survive the days and go through the motions. You were born to live with meaning, with fire, with direction. Deep within you is a calling, a whisper that tells you there's more, that you're made for something greater than average, greater than comfort, greater than settling for less than your potential. Settling happens when you forget that purpose. When the weight of the world, the noise of opinions, the sting of failure convinces you that maybe this is all there is. Maybe your dreams were too big. Maybe your goals were unrealistic. Maybe you should just accept what is and stop hoping for what could be. But that mindset is not the truth. It's a result of exhaustion, disappointment, and fear slowly wearing down your belief in what's possible. Purpose doesn't mean you'll always feel certain. It doesn't mean the path will be clear, but it means you have a reason to get up and keep moving. It means you were designed with gifts, talents, and experiences that no one else has in the same way. Purpose is what wakes up your spirit. It's what drives you to improve, to serve, to lead, to build. It's what keeps you reaching even when things don't work out the way you hoped. When you settle, you trade passion for safety. You shrink your vision to fit your comfort zone. You start saying things like, this is good enough, when deep down, you know it's not. You know there's more in you. You know there's another level you haven't reached yet. And every time you choose not to stretch, not to try, not to go for it, a piece of your purpose dims. Not because it's gone, but because you've stopped feeding it. Purpose doesn't shout, it whispers. It's that feeling when you're doing something and you come alive, when you help someone and you feel it deep in your soul, when you imagine a different life and something inside you says, yes, that's it. That's your purpose calling. But it's easy to ignore that call, easy to silence it with distraction, with routine, with excuses. It takes courage to answer. It takes faith to follow. But it's the only path to true fulfillment. You weren't born to simply get by. You weren't born to check boxes and live according to someone else's script. You were born to discover, to create, to impact. That might not always look flashy or public. Purpose isn't always loud. Sometimes it's in raising a child with love and wisdom. Sometimes it's in creating art that touches someone's heart. Sometimes it's in showing up every day with integrity when no one's watching. But no matter what it looks like, purpose has power. Settling is the enemy of growth. The moment you stop reaching is the moment you start declining. Life was never meant to be stagnant. You were designed to evolve, to push boundaries, to keep learning and expanding. The urge to settle will always be there. It's the easier path, the quieter one. But you weren't built for ease. You were built to carry vision, to face resistance, to rise through it. When you walk in purpose, your energy changes. Your mindset sharpens. Your resilience deepens. You stop chasing things that don't matter and start living in alignment with what truly does. You stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with the only person who matters, who you were yesterday. Purpose becomes your compass, your fuel, your foundation. It reminds you who you are and why you're here.